Welcome to Research Methods in Statistics. Today we will be doing Module 7, which focuses on theories and theoretical framework in quantitative research. As you all know, theory plays a very important role in quantitative research. Quantitative researchers focus on testing of theories as a way to find answers to their research questions. So, it is very important to understand the concept of theory in quantitative research. Also, when you develop a theoretical framework, it helps ensure that your research study is well organized and moves smoothly. The objectives of today's session are to understand the concept of theory in quantitative research, to learn about the use of theory in quantitative research, to appreciate the role of a theoretical framework in quantitative research, to learn the difference between a theoretical framework and a conceptual framework, and to acquire knowledge on how to select and write a theoretical framework. What exactly do we mean by theory? What do we understand when we talk about concept of theory in quantitative research? Kerlinger defines theory as a set of interrelated constructs or concepts, definitions and propositions that present a systematic view of a phenomena while specifying relations amongst variables with the purpose of explaining and predicting the phenomena that you are studying. In other words, a theory is a set of connected or interdependent variables that is related to the phenomena that is being studied, which form statements. They could be a single statement or multiple statements. These statements describe the relationship between the variables in an organized or methodological manner, and this is done to explain or describe the phenomena that you are studying better in a more effective manner. The statement which presents the relationship between the variables is called a hypothesis. A research study could have one or more hypotheses which you will test during the study. The next module, that is module 8, provides more details on hypothesis, the types of hypothesis and how you can frame these. When a hypothesis is tested repeatedly across a variety of different settings, it could develop into a theory. This theory could be presented in a variety of forms, either as an argument or as a statement or as a question or as a discussion or even through the rationale of the research study. The theory helps do three things: identify, explain and predict the phenomena that you are studying. How do you then go about to develop theory? Okay. Creswell uses a rainbow metaphor to explain how theory works in quantitative research. Says that you use the rainbow as a bridge that connects the independent and dependent variable in a study. The rainbow ties together the variables and provides an overarching explanation for how and why one would expect the independent variable to explain the dependent variable. Okay. Theories develop when researchers test this kind of a prediction over and over and over again. The figure on your screen will show you the 4 stages to developing a theory. Stage 1 is framing a hypothesis or the theoretical statement. Stage 2 is testing the hypothesis across a variety of settings, different groups in these settings. Third stage is validating the hypothesis across these different groups and different settings, and the fourth stage is the formulation of theory. We can use an example to explain this. Let us suppose that we want to explore the relationship between levels of education and extent of awareness of nutritious food amongst teenage girls in slum communities in urban areas. Okay. So, the level of education over here would be the independent variable, while the extent of awareness regarding nutritious food would be the dependent variable. Details on how you define variables and how you identify them are given in module 9. Okay. Now, we have the 2 variables, an independent variable and a dependent variable. Now, we frame the hypothesis or the statement that links these 2 variables together. For example, we could say the higher the level of education among teenage girls in slum communities in urban area, the greater is their awareness regarding nutritious food. Or we could state it in a theoretical statement which says high levels of education lead to greater awareness on nutrition amongst teenage girls in slum communities in urban areas. Okay. Now, we test this by looking at teenage girls in different settings in slums in the urban area. Okay. We could also look at teenage girls in rural areas. So, this is multiple settings. Okay. We could then extend it to teenage boys in rural and urban areas. So, we are covering more groups. We could look at adults, and when we repeatedly test it across different groups of respondents in different settings, and we find it is validated at every level, then we could say it can develop into a theory. The theory could be stated as awareness regarding nutritious food is closely linked to educational levels of people. The higher the level of education of a person, the greater is his or her awareness regarding nutrition. Once a theory of this sort is created, you can give it a name. Either you can name it or somebody else will eventually name it. So, one name for this theory could be educational attribution to nutritional awareness theory. Thus, an entire new theory is born. Stenberg mentions 4 levels of theory development. Okay. So, he says theory can be developed at 4 different levels. One is factor isolating or descriptive theory, which focuses on describing phenomena. Second is factor relating or explanatory theory, where the phenomena is explained. So, in the first type, you only describe the phenomena. In the second one, the phenomena is explained. The third level of theory development relates to predictions of relationships between or amongst phenomena and is known as situation relating theory development. And the fourth level of theory is situation producing theory development, which deals with controlling phenomena and relationships between and amongst phenomena. So, where we have an independent variable and a dependent variable, and you are controlling something, maybe where you have a pre-post experiment, where you are giving some kind of external awareness or a program where you are controlling one of your variables, that would be a situation producing theory development. You do not always need to create theory for your research, because some of you might think that this is really difficult. How are we going to be able to create the theory for our research? There are a lot of theories that already exist, and these can easily form the base of your research. Now, we will discuss some of the more commonly used theories in quantitative research. In quantitative research, there are 3 commonly used theories. Okay, these are empiricism. Empiricism states that all knowledge stems from experience. It emphasizes empirical hypothesis testing. Okay, it focuses on observable and factual data which you can verify and measure. Here, a hypothesis that cannot be tested is only considered to be guesswork or speculation. So, you must be able to test your hypothesis. Okay. All the data that you collect must be measurable and verifiable. It is very suitable for studying concepts and phenomena related to race, gender, sexuality, community and religion. The second theory that we use in quantitative research is positivism. Positivists believe that information about society and societal systems can be collected in a scientific manner, and this can be done only through direct experience or observation. Auguste Comte, who is considered the originator of this theory, stated that Auguste Comte, who is considered to be the originator of this theory, stated that it is possible to collect scientific knowledge about society and understand this with a view to improving human experiences and management of society. Here, science is seen as a tool that helps gain a better understanding of society and truths or principles that relate to the society. Science separates facts from values, and so the research is value free. This focuses on establishing or understanding cause-effect relationships mainly. Results are generalizable, they are not isolated, because They do not concern a very small subsection of people. The research is done over a large group of people, and so it is generalizable. The aim of positivistic research is to develop universal causal laws and also interpret events by linking them to already existing general laws. Experimental and control groups as well as use of pre and post tests are very common in such researches. The third theory that is used in quantitative research is feminism. Feminism seeks to create a more equal world. It stems from the fact that research conducted by men is rooted in patriarchal principles, which makes research subjective and biased. Feministic research typically rejects traditional and scientific methods, displays a preference for a more relaxed and open approach so that you gain a better understanding of social reality. It is best suited for studies that are related to or involve women and their experiences. As a researcher, you can use any one of the above theories for your research as long as it is appropriate for your topic and it helps create a framework for your research based on your existing theories. So, you take an existing theory and create a theoretical framework for your research. Okay. What is the difference between a theoretical and conceptual framework? Often these terms are used interchangeably, but a theoretical framework is based on a single theory, while a conceptual framework is a compilation of concepts from more than one or more theory or theoretical framework. Okay. You can start with a conceptual framework and develop it into a theoretical framework through research and study. There are other differences also between theoretical and conceptual frameworks. Okay. A conceptual framework focuses on using one's learning to explain natural progression in a phenomena that you are studying, to explain it in the best possible manner, whereas a theoretical framework provides explanations about the phenomena. Okay. A conceptual framework is usually not as well developed as a theoretical framework. Dyer and his colleagues examined articles published in the Journal of Agricultural Education from 1990 to 1999, and they found that 87% of the articles had appropriate conceptual frameworks. However, only 29% had appropriate theoretical frameworks. So, you start with the conceptual framework and work towards your theoretical framework. Now that you know the difference between a conceptual and a theoretical framework, you need to learn what a theoretical framework does. A theoretical framework, there is a diagram on your screen, you can see it connects various different aspects of the research together, okay, such as problem definition, rationale, aims and objectives, hypothesis, literature review, methodology, data collection and analysis. So, the theoretical framework is in the center and all these are different aspects of the research that it connects. Okay. A theoretical framework links the theories that underpin the research with aims and objectives, hypothesis, methodology and data collection tools. It provides a structure for planning the analysis. How do you develop a theoretical framework? It comes from your review of literature. Okay. The theoretical framework also provides the reasons for your methodology and explains why you choose to do the research in this particular manner. It enables you to place your research study within existing theories and all previously conducted research on the subject. Okay. The theoretical framework also influences the rationale by highlighting the phenomena that you are studying and providing the reason for why you are studying this particular phenomena. Without a theoretical framework, it is possible for the researcher to lose track of what he or she is studying. The theoretical framework provides a roadmap for the researcher and helps keep the research focused. Theoretical framework can act as a lens through which the researcher views and interprets the phenomena that he or she is studying. Thus, a theoretical framework also serves as a guide for interpretation of results of the research. From all this, it is clear that developing a good theoretical framework is an essential aspect of any quantitative research. Please remember, once you have decided or developed a theoretical framework, you cannot change it. You need to stick to the same theoretical framework for the duration of your study. So, it is necessary to be very careful when deciding which theoretical framework is most suited for your research study. Now, we learn how to select and write a theoretical framework. As we mentioned earlier, the key to understanding which theoretical framework works best is literature review. Okay. So, when you are doing a literature review, when you are critically reviewing literature to select your theoretical framework, you can keep the following points in mind. First, what do I know about the phenomena that I want to study? What types of knowledge are available to me? Are these empirical, non-empirical, intuitive, moral, ethical, tactic, whatever. So, what are the different types of knowledge that are available to me? Which theory will best guide my research? Has the theory been proved through theory linked research? What other theories are relevant to my research? How can I apply these theories and findings in practice when I am carrying out my research? So, these questions are to be kept in mind when you are selecting the framework. What are the steps that you should follow when doing this? First, read. Do a search of literature for theories and examine various theories to see which is the most appropriate for your research problem. Then select the theory for the research. This theory will guide and direct your research process. Now that you have selected it, conduct another comprehensive review of literature on studies that have already used this theoretical base. Based on this literature review, the second literature review, frame your hypothesis or questions that you want to be tested through your research. Write up the conceptual definition of all the study variables based on the theory you have selected and the review of literature you have done. Operationalize these. Once you have written up the conceptual framework, once you have written up the conceptual definitions, operationalize them. So, how are you going to actually use these variables in your study? Okay. Then select the instruments that you will be using to test the concepts that you have. The instruments must be congruent with the theory, they must go along with the theory, they must not be against the theory, alright. Then you have done all this, then you go and collect your data, get your data. When you have got your analyze it, when you have got the findings, you explain the findings of your research using the theory that you have selected. Your conclusions from the results will be based on the theory that you have selected, and then see if the theory is supported by the results of the study. If it is not, then you say that this theory has not held true for your study. Okay. Determine if there are any implications from the study which can be related to the theory, and make recommendations for the future and include the use of this theory for future recommendations. Okay. One way to make your life easier would be to look at studies that have used a similar theory, research studies that have used a similar theory, and examine their theoretical framework. So, that would give you an idea on how to frame and write your own theoretical framework. Now, we come to the summary of this particular topic. Okay. So, we are going to summarize what a theory is, we are going to summarize what we have learned today. A theory is a set of interlinked variables and hypotheses that state relationship between these variables in a systematic manner, so that you can explain or better understand the phenomena that you are studying. The theory helps identify, explain and predict the phenomena that you are studying. The development of theory is a lengthy process, as theories need to be tested multiple times across a variety of settings and different groups of respondents. Hence, researchers often make use of already existing theories. There are 4 levels of theory development: factor isolating, factor relating, situation relating and situation producing. The 3 most commonly used theories in quantitative research are empiricism, positivism and feminism. A theoretical framework is more rigorous and has greater clarity than a conceptual framework. A theoretical framework links all aspects of research together, such as problem identification, rationale, aims and objectives, hypothesis, literature review, methodology, data collection and analysis. A theoretical framework acts as a roadmap for the research study and helps the research stay focused. A critical review of literature with a focus on previous research related to your topic will help assist in the selection of a theoretic framework for your study and will also help you formulate your framework and help you assist you in the writing up process. I hope that you are now clear about how a theoretical framework is essential to a research and have a clear idea of writing this up. Thank you.